What's going on, everybody? It's Kevin Deanie here for Superpower Review, and welcome back to the channel. On today's live stream video, we are going over King in Black issue 4. As always, I am not alone for these Symbiote-related comic book reviews. I'm always joined by my good friend, Joseph Reed, a.k.a. Old Man Venom on Instagram. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, dude? What's up? What's up? I'm ready to dive into this with some buddies here.
Get pumped! Let's go! See, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. So we got my buddy Old Man Venom, and then just like last time. So last time he came in as a surprise, but we also have Matt, Mr. Gold Label, on. What's up, man?
What's up, big dog? Glad to be here.
We're happy to have you. So, and then we also have another person. We have another person from the Symbiote Elite. We got the infamous Jeb Ludwig. What's up?
What's up? My name is Jeb.
My name is Jeb. So, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on live on this live stream and nerd out some symbiote sexiness with me. Thanks, man.
Oh.
Excited.
Yeah, you better be. No, I'm just kidding. So I just want to acknowledge some of the people who are also taking time out of their day to watch this live stream. We got, boy, I don't know how to say that. Zagona, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining in. We got Leith the Leth Null. Yo, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining. We got Perry Comics in the house. How you doing, man? And we also have Remy Q Studios. Thank you so much for joining in. Hey, I just want to tell the people who are watching, I don't know how many people we're going to get in because I know this is sort of late, but I know there's a lot of night owls out there who will jump in. But hey, if this live stream reaches 25 viewers at any given time, I will add 2 floppy books, 2 Moon Knight books to the 2,000 subscriber giveaway that I have going on. If you want to check out the video to the 2,000 subscriber giveaway and enter, a link to that video is in this video's description down below. You could also potentially win the Spawn #1 CGC graded at a 9.4. I will be announcing the winner this week, so join in pretty soon. All right, and you're also getting 4 other books that I threw in last time. We have Bane of Demon #1 remarked with a Bane, sketched and signed by me. #2, #3, #4 with the Batman remark, signed and sketched by me as well.
Very nice.
And thank you. And we also got these 4 black and white Batman books. So check it out if you have the time. We'll still be here by the time you're done entering. So guys, let's get into it, shall we? Let's break down this comic book and see what you guys have to say. King in Black issue #4, man. This was, man, Matt, I was actually sort of jumping out of my seat with this one, guys. I was super excited. This one was pretty epic. This one was a different tone than the others because this one was sort of on the good guys' favor. This is when we're trying to like show no, like, hey, you know what? We got this. We're going to get you. What do you guys think about it? And we'll start with Joe, and we'll work around the panel and see what you guys had to say about this issue in particular, and we'll break it down.
Right on. I definitely enjoyed this one. It was pretty cool to see everybody go pretty much face to face with Null, and what ends up happening with certain characters. Like I know Jeb's excited about what happens with Doctor Strange. I thought that was pretty awesome. It's definitely a lot of action in this one. There's still a lot of story as usual, but there's definitely a lot more action.
Matt,
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is what the slow burn pays off when you're reading Donny Cates. Like he's so notorious for having this slow burn issue by issue. Like it's coming.
Yeah.
We finally get it in this issue. There's a payoff. So I appreciate when everything comes together as a whole and you get that big surprise panel at the end. It really it did a lot more for me than most Donny Cates issues.
For sure. Jeb.
Again, I think like Kate's, his his things there. Everyone's stronger together, and all the heroes banded together, and they're gonna show Null what what they're made of, and gonna come and squash him. Like it.
For sure. Now, like, so this whole issue starts off with Null taking Dylan, and they're sort of in the hive, and he's pretty much telling him. I mean, Joe, again, another thing that we hit right on the nail on the head, man. He said, like, you're pretty much my son. You know what I mean? And so we get a little bit of an origin story of Dylan that was soon to be expected, but I thought this was probably one of the biggest things, in my opinion, about the book, that the symbiotes made Dylan in order to fight Null. What do you guys think about that? Because I think that literally blew my mind, to be honest. We'll start with Matt this time.
I honestly thought that was a long time coming. And I said I was always saying that there was this underlying connection between him and Null, and it wasn't necessarily always Eddie. And the fact that the symbiote itself spawned Dylan to fight him, as because the symbiote knows that they're like enslaved by this evil god, so they are going to create this thing on Earth, or this person on Earth, to fight for them. That's ingenious. It's such a good way to think about it, because Anne didn't know where he came from. Eddie didn't know where he came from. We all had these theories about where that Null made him on his own, and it was going to be like a Luke Darth Vader thing, but then it wasn't. It was just him being spawned by the symbiote itself, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. And like I said, I think we planned this we thought about this happening for the longest time. Jebby, what'd you think, buddy?
Well, I don't know. Like, son, do you mean like feels more like great grandpa or something like that, right? Bloodline feels very thin, but it's going in that direction. Finally getting to see Dylan, do more. I mean, he does this and then zaps all the symbiotes and explodes them. I don't know. I'm waiting for the next issue before I can really determine what I actually think.
I think Jebby, you said something like more like of a grandfather, and yeah, I think you're a little. I think you're on the right path about that, actually. But gods can be crazy. I don't know about you guys, but going through middle school, learning about Greek mythology, gods can be crazy, taking children and calling it theirs. I don't know. Joe, what did you think about it, man?
It's definitely wild. I feel like Null definitely created Dylan. At the end of the day, he definitely created him, but something somewhere went completely wrong with it, which I mean, Null is still able to overpower Dylan, but at the same time, Dylan can almost overpower him. He like Matt said, he basically wiped the entire world or whatever of everyone that was Null possessed. He just grabbed the whole hold of Null and just zapped all the symbiotes off everybody. So I still feel like Null is going to somehow try to sway him and make him go evil. And I feel like, especially with the news of the issue 5 getting pushed back, I feel like something huge is about to happen with Dylan, and it's hard to really tell what's going to come of it all, but I definitely feel like Null had something to do with creating Dylan, but it's just kind of backfiring right now.
I thought for like a quick second that Dylan was actually gonna go with Null and become bad. I thought that for a quick second. I was like, no way. Like, is he really gonna go through with this? And then he's like, no, you killed my dad. And then he was just like, take this, motherfucker.
Yeah. See,
Can I add something quick? Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that if you would have joined Null, it wouldn't have surprised me, because in the alternate reality in Venom Beyond, he actually does go that far and become the ruler of Earth in a bad way, like the bad guy. So I was like, oh no, it's gonna play out to Venom Beyond, and that's how this story's gonna go. But then it flipped the other way. So now I'm with Joe. I think issue 5 is gonna have that new Dylan come back from the future and help out to defeat Null, possibly. Who knows? But I think that those characters are still waiting to make that appearance to come back.
Yeah, I'm waiting for those characters to make that appearance, because I've said it since Venom Beyond that these guys are definitely at the disposal to come at any time to help out with this war. And I'm actually kind of surprised we haven't seen it yet. This series is going to be a 6-issue series, if I'm correct, right?
No, 5's it, I think, right?
5, yeah.
5. Okay. So the next issue is the last issue. And so maybe it's going to happen in the next issue. But I think if they don't use these characters from the other world, from Venom Beyond, I think it's going to be a missed opportunity, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Well, I feel like we're all almost used to having that missed opportunity just constantly happening over and over again. But something freaking huge is going to happen with Dylan. Like obviously there's a lot going on with Eddie. What's that?
It's the worst edging we've ever had, boys.
Mm.
Like there's definitely going on with Eddie, and there's a lot. There's a lot actually, but I feel like at the end of the day, this is all mainly about Dylan and what's to become of Dylan. Like Dylan is going to change so much after this storyline's over with. I can tell that for sure. Obviously, Venom's going to be different too, but
Yeah,
I just don't know what to expect, man. I'm kind of
I think
played and goes evil because I think that would be very interesting rather than the very predictable dad and son team up, and like I'm kind of hoping he goes evil.
okay, interesting take. Jeb, did you have something to say about that? Something to add?
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, Kate's might, play to the fans and go that route where they finally get to see Dylan and Eddie finally team up. But I think one of the things that was really interesting was how Cates is finally in this issue kind of brought all his little creations together. Like he did Doctor Strange, doing Thor. It was good to see them all kind of
meld together. Okay, all right, Matt.
Yeah, I'm with Joe. I think he's gonna, that unfortunately Noel's gonna go away after this. I do think he's gonna have some defeat, and someone's gonna have to take up the mantle of the bad guy. And seeing as Dylan is always teeter-tottered on am I the evil one? Am I the bad guy? You always see Dylan with the Noel symbol in his eyes all the time. Whenever he unleashes, you see Noel more than you see Venom when he goes nuts. I mean, at this point, he has it out for Noel because of the whole he killed his dad thing. But I think eventually the truth's going to take hold and he's going to become a villain. I think that's the way it's going. Based on the ending panel, I think Eddie's going to be the new shining light, and then Dylan will be the bad guy.
Interesting take. I actually wasn't kind of thinking it in that perspective, but I mean, of course, it could go in that direction. But I'm actually kind of surprised hearing that factor. To be honest, I thought this was pretty much going to go in the direction that Joe just said that he wouldn't want to see, them kind of walking away, and Eddie Brock and Dylan Brock being okay, honky dory, father and son. Okay, let's go have a life together. But it could potentially really go that way. Really, he could be corrupted and turned, and I don't know.
We'll see.
I'm really hoping it doesn't go that route. I mean, and like you said earlier, I also want to point out, especially in this panel, God, I can't see anything, but see Dylan's eyes,
Yeah,
see Noel's eyes. That's coming out they are very, very similar. More than them two are more similar than Dylan is with the Venom symbiote, just like you pointed out.
Mhm.
So I definitely, I've said it before. I don't remember word for word, but he is basically created by Noel. It doesn't really have too much to do with Eddie, but Eddie kind of raised him and is that light in his life. So I could see if the way that Dylan would turn evil is because he's so pissed off right now. He's eventually going to get pushed to a point where he just lets go and falls into the abyss. He's not just going to change. I think there's a lot setting up that he's eventually going to, even if it's temporarily, I do believe that he's going to pretty much change into Null. I feel like at the end of this series, there's going to be a new god of the symbiotes. You know what I mean?
So I mean, the last issue we said that with everything with Venom 200, we saw that cover of Venom on the throne with the wings, and so a lot of people are predicting that he is officially going to be the new god of symbiotes. Now, Joe, you sound like you're changing your tune a little bit. So now you're saying that it could be Dylan becoming the god of the symbiotes.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm changing my tune. I'm just kind of speculating because that cover, you would think, Venom is obviously the new guy of the symbiotes, but if Dylan were to go evil, either like I've said forever, Eddie's going to have to kill him, or he pretty much leaves the planet and becomes the new guy of the symbiotes, and they kind of have this agreement type thing or something. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I thought Jeb was going to say something, but I thought he was going to add on to.
What I was gonna say was, I just hope it's not a struggle cuddle thing that he did with Codex, because that was a sad ending to that series.
Yeah, that was so horrible.
I don't know what to say to that.
Joe's very disappointed with that one. So with
good.
Yeah, it did. I mean, it started epic, and of course, it started off really well because I think we had Virus in there. We had an epic fight scene, but then it just as soon as they killed off Virus, it's like, where's the story going? No, I just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Every time you say the word virus, I see Joe's face get a different shade of red.
I see a tear shed.
So Mac dirty. Always Mac dirty.
Mac dirty. So during this whole time with Null having Dylan in the hive, so we hear a voice, and this voice is a huge help in the story. And before we get into a little bit of this voice and kind of coaching Dylan on what to do and how to help out with this whole fight, when I first read the voice, okay, the word bubbles, I thought it was somebody else. Did anybody think differently that it could have did you guys have a first guess, and then when you found out who it was, you were like, oh damn, I wasn't expecting that?
Well, I thought it was going to be like the God-alike character. That's what I thought. I figured maybe they said something about where Dylan gets his powers from, or where he's and it was a familiar power before we found out anything that happened at the end there. But that's what I thought was coming from.
Matt?
I thought it was someone from issue 33 from Venom. I thought it was either Rex or Flash, because they're all in the hive right now, trying to communicate on the outside. I thought it was one of them personally. So that was my first intuition. But honestly, when I found out who it was, I was impressed. I was like, this is a great way to introduce more than what's going on in Venom alone.
Now, Joe, before off camera, you said you had a pretty cool prediction, and I didn't think about. But who did you initially think it was?
I just assumed it was Professor X, because I could have swore earlier in the series he kind of connected with everybody, and he was kind of the voice in between everybody. So I thought it was Professor X trying to talk to Dylan. He sees what's going on, he knows what he can do. He's trying to tell him, and I kind of like how Dylan was just shut up, just shut up, I got this. But I thought it was Professor X.
I thought it was the Maker at first. I thought it was the Maker coming in, finally coming in from the other world that he got transported to, and maybe has learned something from that other world to somehow kind of bring some new piece of information into the battle. That's how I thought. So I thought it was the Maker at first, but then when it was revealed that it was the Phoenix, I was like, oh damn, that's a good part right there. That got me really. So that was the second part of this whole story that got me let's go, let's do this. So what did you guys think about the Phoenix coming into the story?
I thought that was awesome, and it was kind of a, like I said the last time. This issue seemed to more focus mainly on the X-Men, and the X-Men and the mutants have some extraordinary powers that wouldn't just, they would be pretty much well equipped to be able to face Null. So, and that's, like I said, that's why I thought Professor X was the one that was talking, and he pretty much doing what Professor X does and coaching them and do this and do that. But once Jean Grey came into the scene, I was pretty impressed with that, because the Phoenix, I would assume, would do some serious damage, and the fact that she was able to get into Null's mind, she was able to see the whole origin of him and everything, like even the whole God of Light. Like she knew right away who the God of Light was just by going into Noel's mind. But I was just impressed that she was able to do that because off subject, but like Ghost Rider, Ghost Rider, he tries to do a stare on Venom and it backfires. So I would just kind of assume trying to read a symbiote's mind would kind of backfire. But then again, that makes me think of Superior Carnage and what's that guy's name? The Brainiac dude. He was trying to read. No, actually, he needed a host. So yeah, I was just impressed to be able to see Phoenix read Null's mind. But
Agreed.
yeah,
I thought it was super impressive.
yeah, there's a whole thing in Superior Carnage where he couldn't control the symbiote because it had no mind to control. But he just got right in Phoenix's mind or Null's mind. So I was impressed with that.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool. It was like a whole new other level for Jean, in my opinion, and I think it was really cool to actually see the origin story of Null and how he was brought up yet again in this issue as well. Matt, Jeb, any thoughts on this?
Yo, man, that line though. Let's see what makes you bleed. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was like, Gene, you haven't been hotter. I tell you.
No, for sure. I agree with you. I like the way that Kate is really bringing in every super team he can to combat this. And when it was revealed that it was Jean, it establishes that she is like the strongest mutant. She is that class 5, so she can take on threats like this. So that was really cool that like Marvel knowledge is still recognized in books like this. And when you first saw the cover, like Stegman, like, what are you putting the X-Men on the cover for? We haven't really seen them like introduced in this story yet. And now it makes sense. Like they're a huge piece to how this all came together. So when they kind of revealed that page and it's just a bunch of pink explosion and she's like, let's see how you bleed. Like, I'm with Jeb. I thought that was hot as fuck.
Yo, the one thing that I thought was like super important was like X-Men are generally not included in these big events, right? Like they are, but they're not. They usually do their own thing. But it was kind of nice. Like it just showed you, like, yo, this is Earth level threat. Everyone needs to be in it. Everyone needs to need all hands on deck, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
They need to be here too.
Yeah, I mean, having the X-Men in this storyline is like you guys have been saying, is super important. They are a really strong team, and like Jeb said too, you don't see X-Men in huge Marvel events, so it's really nice to see them in there because they are my favorite Marvel team of all time. I mean, I'll take the X-Men over the Avengers anytime if I had to pick and choose. But I also want to point out something that Matt said that I really liked with everything that Donny Cates is doing to write this. Like, it really looks like Donny does a lot of his homework and research on these characters to make this all meld together. And because like there are some characters in the series that I'm not very familiar with, like, Namor, the Submariner and stuff like that. But he writes the certain characters that I'm not familiar with in such a way that like I feel like I know them already, and I don't have to read other books to know these characters very well. Does anybody else feel like that at all too?
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of, yeah.
I'm with you. I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't read X-Men. I mean, everyone has the basic understanding of X-Men, but you're like reading this story. It's entitled The King in Black, but it brings in everyone. It's not just a Venom story, which is what it's great. It brings in all kinds of characters. So you're 100% correct when you say that, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean it's not a Venom story. It's solely based off of Venom, but it's bringing in everyone in together, and so I think that's a really good thing to point out, and what I really like as well. So going into again with the Phoenix, Jean Grey, I should say, going in and searching into Null's origin. So I thought it was really cool seeing again the battle between Null and the light, the God of Light, and battling it out, and you just see the light just going from one warrior to another, and let me just turn the page here, and then like we see the light trying to come into Earth, but it can't, and then we see probably another huge hero in this series, which is Silver Surfer Black. No, Is anybody really excited about Silver Surfer Black being in here? And I know like last time when we got together, I was like, what do you guys think like he's going to bring to the table? I literally had no clue. But what'd you think about this part about how he couldn't penetrate Earth, but he found a way to get the light in?
I thought it was pretty wild. He basically bonded with it, and it's interesting because I think Gene was the one that said it, that this god of light, it behaves kind of like a symbiote, and it needs to bond to the host. So
that's an important part. Yeah.
Basically, Silver Surfer shows up, sees it can't get through the symbiote orb or whatever you want to call it, the dome, and he bonds with it temporarily and like gets through it. Just blows through a whole bunch of dragons, whatever, and then realizes like, oh, there's another warrior here that you need to choose, and basically unbonds with it right then and there, and then the light takes off from that point. So I feel like,
yeah, but you guys can't tell me everyone wasn't waiting for the Void Knight to show up again.
I never crossed it off the list, but at the same time, if we didn't get Virus back, then I already know we're not getting Void Knight back, because I mean, they're both awesome characters. Why would they bring them back?
Why would they do that? I mean,
no reason.
Making Marvel money, that's unheard of. Why would you use those characters?
It's so weird. It was so weird that the character was on like 2 panels in Silver Surfer Black 2, and he's became such a like cult character already. After you had that Silver Surfer Black #5 scan variant.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Everyone digs it. So you want to see more.
Yeah.
We didn't see that character do anything. We just got to saw how badass it looked, and then that was that.
So
I'd like to. Hey, sorry, kid. I want to go ahead and add like the when she's doing the whole flashback thing.
Yeah.
We get to see this image again, straight from Jason Aaron's Thor issue 6, and it just re-solidifies the fact that that he's reconnecting these storylines, and we're seeing that this God of Light figure has been in comics forever, and you're still trying to figure it out. You're still trying to go back. But I love the fact that he keeps referring back to this image. It was in Venom issue 4 when they first. He's like, oh, you haven't seen Null before, but you have. He's in this issue here, and then here we see it again, same exact image. And I wonder if Donny Cates has ever like spoke with Jason Aaron about this, or has even built on this character even more, or that this golden figure, whoever this is. But now we see that it's just a host to this light source, which is kind of boring. I was hoping for another character itself, but this brings a whole new mythos to the whole God of Light thing.
Okay, yeah. So I know what you mean. Like, so like, whoa, it just got red over here. I'm seeing red. So another thing that this that whole thing ties into, going back into that, seeing the Light Warriors fighting off Null, it also ties in Gord the God Butcher in as well.
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah. It's great.
No, I definitely feel like. What was that?
I'm sorry.
The point where Null lost the Necro Sword, and then Gore went off with it, and then he just dug himself out of the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I definitely feel like Cates definitely talked to Jason Aaron about some of this stuff to be able to, I mean, it's very well tied together.
It really is. And like we were talking already too. What's going on there? It's like
you got a party over there, Joe.
Where's the music? Where's the drinks? Let's go. So like I think this also is tying back into like what Matt said about doing Donny Cates doing his homework, because like how did he come off with this? You know what I mean? Like how did he build off this one character by just seeing this? Micronauts? What's that all about?
I know what that's about.
Oh, you guys know what this is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Donny Cates cutting deep.
Yeah, he's
super deep.
He's referencing books from before he was born. That's blowing my mind. That issue that Jeb is holding is written in the 70s. Like, that's insane that he has that much homework done, that he's connecting Jason Aaron's run, and then he's connecting Micronauts, and now we're seeing all this stuff come together, and it's like, now it's fluid. Now it has a direction. It can go somewhere. And all these new storylines can actually be built off a foundation. That's why I really love this issue, because it's like the glue to like so many loose ends. So I applaud Donny Cates for this. I really enjoyed it.
It is
And-
homework.
It truly
Yeah.
is a Marvel Comics universe like event. Like truly, this
Mhm.
is
Truly.
a straight up book. It is, but it's not.
Yeah, and it's also again, and we've been saying this since almost day one, since Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman took on Venom, but he's just really broadening the horizons on Venom into the Marvel universe. You know what I mean?
Yes, he is, and just other
Uh,
characters. Too.
Level more. He's a bigger picture guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And what he does with this God of Light and what it is and how he tied that together, like this is like the blueprint of what the Marvel universe is going to start to be. I feel like after this, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff, especially with everything that he's doing. There's a lot of stuff that's like, I guess we'll just go ahead and jump to it because it's basically the next part that's coming up.
Yeah, let's get into it.
The Enigma Force, or pretty much the power that has made the Captain Universe characters, such as like Spider-Man was the cosmic powered Spider-Man at one point. So that is what the God of Light is. Yes, and it bonds with Eddie Brock. So
Eddie
that's
Brock
where-
is the Light Warrior, baby.
I'm just wondering, is he going to at all going to be him, or is it going to be this entity in his body just taking it over? But I never really knew too much about the whole Enigma Force and what all that was, and I just figured some Cosmos crap. But now it's like so deeply tied into like how Reed Richards basically said it behaves like a symbiote, or somebody said it behaves like a symbiote. Maybe it was Gene, but yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, because Eddie was dead. Did it just take over his body and it's going to stand up and everyone's going to be like, holy crap, Eddie. And he's just going to be like, who the hell is Eddie? Stand aside, and just start like farting out laser beams all over the place. Like, I don't know.
Farting out laser. I don't know. I mean, I think this is I think this is going to give Eddie Brock a chance. Like we've been saying for the longest time, what are deaths in comic books? They're not real. This is just probably one of the best ways to revive Eddie Brock and to make him into a true hero in this series, maybe. So I don't think it's just going to be a dead body powered by the Captain Universe force. Yeah,
He's still in the hive. So will it be him?
right.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be him. I don't think it's just going to be some like I said, I don't think it's going to be like a poltergeist going back into a body and like pretty much I can't think of the word, god damn it. Brain farts, but yeah, I think it's going to revive him for sure.
Well, one thing
I
that I
think
thought was really
definitely
cool
would help.
with the whole Captain Universe Enigma thing, it just again shows just the threat level of Null, right? It just shows that
Yeah.
like the Enigma Force, Captain Universe only shows up when like we're talking like this is their last option. This world's gonna explode, whatever. It comes in, swoops in, kind of saves the day. In a way, it's kind of lazy. But then
Yeah.
it's gonna bond to Venom, and that's really cool in my books. Well, you know.
The word I was looking for, by the way, is possess. I've had too many beers tonight, gentlemen. I'm sorry.
So I want to go ahead and add to Jeb's comment about it being lazy. I agree with that to an extent, simply because Noel's been around for a while now, and he's been wreaking havoc on the Marvel Universe for issues upon issues. And it got to this point where now he just pulled us out of a hat, and he is going to be this, okay, now there's a whole light symbiote, as Joe keeps referring to, because they're saying it behaves like a symbiote. It goes throughout the universe and bonds to different hosts. But what kind of bugs me is that whenever it bonded those other hosts in the past, Spider-Man and Captain Universe and anyone who owned it at the time, it wasn't talking to them like a symbiote was. You know how like when Eddie is bonded to his symbiote, they have conversations together. It's two entities, whereas this has always been a single, like just a power up. You're the same person. It just makes you Captain Universe. See what I'm saying?
Universe
I don't know if it has that.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Captain Universe, I've noticed in other books, does talk to an extent. I went back and like read a lot of stuff lately. But he's very like the Enigma Force always seemed very like entitled. The way they wrote it before, very entitled. And another thing, like Matt was saying, what makes Earth so special? Like Null's been destroying all these galaxies on his way to Earth, and the Enigma Force just gives a shit now, right? That's kind of there's loose ends there.
Well, let me ask you gentlemen this, okay? So I know Jeb said it's almost sort of lazy writing and whatnot, and maybe I'm on the right terms here, but if you did not want to see the Enigma Force take over Eddie, who else would you rather it be? Or would you not rather have the Enigma Force in the story at all?
That's you go ahead. Sorry.
I was kind of hoping for a new character altogether with, like another Null-like character. I mean, simply because like when you take a retcon like Captain Universe, now you have to cover your tracks. Like now all the books that aren't accurate from the 70s beyond, do they really match up with the character that Cates is going to create? Like, we don't know. Like in issue 5, is Eddie Brock going to look just like Captain Universe? Is it going to operate just like they have in the past with the other books? Or is he going to treat it like an actual symbiote? Is he going to be able to control it? Is he going to be able to speak to it? Is he going to be able to, take it on and off as he pleases? Or is it going to be like Jeb and the thing is just going to use Eddie like a walking corpse, like the whole sleeper tell car thing? Like, who knows? But
I just think it's going to be so much more to that, because why would something take over a dead corpse? Well, that I don't know, you know what I mean, like that.
We've been asking the same thing about Sleeper forever.
Yeah, well, it's true. True.
One thing that was actually kind of interesting, because I read the last book the Enigma Force showed up was Spider-Geddon, and Miles actually did to the Enigma Force, but it was a different Enigma Force. It was a different universe's Spider-Man that had the Enigma Force, and then that super big bad Solus ate him, and then Miles went back and then was like, hey, can you help me? And he was like, I don't even like you people, but okay. So how many are there out there? That's my question.
I don't know. So the Enigma Force sees something in Eddie Brock. I mean, again, we don't know what it is. We'll find out in the next issue. I'm sure, but I mean, of course, Donny Cates has got to have some sort of reason. Joe, I'm sorry. What were you saying, buddy?
I was just saying, I definitely feel like the Enigma Force, there's probably, I would say, more, because there was a whole army that was fighting. They were all these like golden looking dudes. It was like an entire army. So there's definitely some more, but it might all be the one same thing, just kind of spread out. I like that they brought the Enigma Force in, because I never really knew too much about it besides the whole
Me neither.
Spider-Man. So, I mean, I've kind of noticed that Cates is also very good at taking either characters and just like recreating them into the
We're on a racetrack now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Outside my house.
This is Fast and the Furious number 13.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. But no, like I said, getting sidetracked. But he's very good at taking characters that don't have like a solid foundation and just kind of turning it into something like tremendous. So I'm cool with it. It makes me more interested in the cosmic power. The whole what is it? The Enigma Force. It's more interesting.
I will agree with Joe there. I think it's pretty interesting. Same. I didn't know too much about it, but also going back to what I said previously, there's a lot of things going on in this series that I don't know too much about, like with certain characters, the Enigma Force. But like I feel like I know everything I need to know when Donny Cates introduces it into the series. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I see.
One thing I
Someone
thought,
said they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Yeah, you guys hear me?
yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
one thing I thought was kind of weird about King of Black 4, and it's probably more COVID delay stuff, but two issues that are a little bit behind for this book were the Namor one, King in Black, and the Black Cat tie-in that I think they both come out next week, but they should have came out like a week before this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole COVID thing
Or he
definitely
was with
screwed.
one of the characters, the Black Tide, the octopus lady, and he was just like pushes all the symbiotes into the middle there. And Black Cat finally gave uh, Doctor Strange the wooden scepter, the Asgardian scepter or whatever. So everything's kind of like when you read it before all that stuff, it does kind of like jumble up a bit.
All right, Joe, what were you gonna say, buddy?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it kind of did that with Blue Carnage too. Like the tie-ins were all kind of didn't make
Yeah.
sense, and then they pushed back. Didn't they push back or they shortened Absolute Carnage? Something like that happened, I believe.
They lengthened it.
But okay, so yeah, but with COVID, I mean, that pretty much pushed everything back. So everything. I'm glad we're still getting our comics shipped to us, but everything's definitely kind of wacky at the moment.
Zagona, that's because Joe has inferior technology. Shit just doesn't work at his house. Some things work, and then when it does work, it cancels something else out. So nobody knows, dude.
Yeah.
I can hear him. The panel can hear him. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's nothing else we can really do. All right, gentlemen. So we are 42 minutes into this breakdown here. Let's talk about, and we'll start with Joe. Let's talk about some of the likes that you had, the dislikes, and then we'll go around the panel.
All right. Well, yeah. For the most part, I pretty much enjoyed all of it per usual. I mean, it was like I said, the cover itself is primarily the X-Men on it, and we finally got to see the X-Men kind of get really involved. So I was happy with that. Anytime a cover actually relates to this, it's always a win in my book. So that was cool.
Same.
Silver Surfer pretty much he was there just for one freaking thing, really, and it was to help the Enigma Force get in, and he played his part. But it was cool to be able to see all these characters kind of doing their thing, and then with Namor, at first I didn't quite get it, but whoever's in their mind, which I'm assuming is Professor X, was like, all right, you're up, and he's like, all right, finally, and like floods the whole, I guess, Earth or whatever. So that it's definitely interesting to see everyone kind of pull their weight and do their thing. It looked like Thor and Storm teamed up and were using a lot of like lightning based attacks.
That was
At
awesome.
one point we had Doctor Strange, Cyclops, Sue Richards or whatever, Invisible Woman, like all using their power. So it had like this lit up like cross power thing in the middle of the field.
Yeah, like a 4-way stop sign of power.
Yeah, and that was really cool. Just to be able to like get more like affirmation that what I've been thinking and seeing Null and Dylan interact with each other and everything that was going on, it was just like I knew that this was going to happen. So it was cool to finally see something that I've been predicting actually kind of panning out. I'm telling you, I don't know how to put it in words. Null created Dylan, and it's for some crazy master plan of his, and no one knows what it is yet, but we're all about to find that out. So it's definitely cool to see that. Um, my last complaint the last time was not seeing any panels with Venom at all, like even in the Hive, like doing something. It was kind of cool to be able to see that Eddie's going to be coming back, even if it's through this Enigma Force, which I still don't believe, or I still don't think that he's a dead body. So is it going to be Eddie while he's in the Codex, like two separate consciousnesses? Like I don't think so. But I think by the end of whatever the Enigma Force uses, Eddie's body for, we're definitely going to end up having Eddie come back some way or another. the art was pretty damn good all the way around. I definitely enjoyed that. The very beginning when it showed Dylan in the hive mind and it was just like surrounded by all these like
by
Venom
symbiotes.
I thought that was pretty cool. What else is there? I don't think I'm really missing anything. I mean, I really had no complaints with it. It's always a treat to be able to see Noel's old origin retold, and you also got this cool little Demon Days preview in the back of it. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be picking this story up, but if they got covers with Venom on it like that, I might have to pick them.
He's gonna pick him up. Yeah, he's gonna do it. He's gonna pick him up. He's a sucker.
That story doesn't really seem to captivate me, and it's cool, but if they incorporate Venom in there a lot, I might have to pick up some Venom stuff from that series. But all in all, I thought this was a pretty solid issue. I didn't really have too many complaints with it, and now we got an answer to the God of Light.
All right, Jeb, you look like you're about to explode, man. What?
Okay, so it's starting to feel like when Cates gets into this fourth issue, right? I always feel like things are starting to get rushed, and I get it that everyone was coming together and taking out basically all the symbiotes that were on the land there when they pushed them all in the middle, slagged all the symbiotes, and then we move on to the next thing. I don't know. This issue felt like it was like very long but very rushed to me. I don't know. My only other gripe, spoiler variant, OG Silver Surfer. For some reason, this still bugs me. OG Silver Surfer, it's not Silver Surfer Black, but it's a cool variant.
He's got black on him. I'm just
I
kidding.
suppose. I don't know. Again, with everything, because I've been reading all the tie-ins, so seeing things happen before, it's not like spoilers, but it kind of is. So I was a little disappointed in that.
This is why I don't get into tie-ins. I think tie-ins can. I know, I'm sorry to cut you off for a second, Jeb, but I know tie-ins are supposed to add to the story, but I feel like tie-ins most of the time have nothing to offer or just can completely ruin it because it's going to set you up for thinking something that's going to happen in the main series, and then when it doesn't happen, you're like, well, what the hell? They set that up and it didn't happen. Now I feel disappointed.
Yeah, because when I'm looking at it and you see Namor's parts in the big battle there, they were pushing it pretty hard that the characters, the Black Tide, were going to be like this massive weapon, and it just didn't feel that way in this issue.
That's what Joe said last time. Yeah.
And like I say, I just don't want things to be rushed, and I want to have an ending where I'm finally happy. That's all.
That's what I'm mainly concerned about. I hope by the end of this, it's not absolute carnage all over again.
I mean, again, it could potentially happen because that's sort of like Donny Cates' trope where things are super, super hyped up and then it starts to, go downhill a little bit. And then you're like, okay, why did I get so invested in this? It could happen. I really hope it doesn't happen, but I don't also think it's going to happen either. All right, Matt, what are some of your likes and dislikes about this issue? And then once you're done, we'll get into CGC grade reviews. Go ahead, man.
I'm going to go ahead and reiterate the fact that I think that this issue is the glue for a lot of loose ends that Donny Cates has put out there. Silver Surfer Black, Thor, a lot of these storylines we were just waiting for the payoff. The Wraith storyline, what's his God of Light gonna actually be and how's it intertwined. So I really like the fact that it all came together and now we have a direction to move forward in. And I like Joe said, the fact that we get so many different characters input and no one character had more I guess a partake in fighting Null aside from Jean Grey because she was the one connecting all their minds together. But everyone kind of jumped in on the court and played their position correctly. And at the end of the time, at the end of the story, you really see Null fear that he's going to lose at this point. That's never happened. He's always been so cocky to the point where he's like, y'all, you guys mere peasants. I'm just going to step on you and squash you like bugs. And this is the first time he's ever been like, oh shit, I might lose. That panel where he's just screaming the word no, and it's like super, like the words like drawn out. That was awesome. I mean, that was
That
really
was
cool.
awesome.
He's finally seeing that. Oh, they found a way. You know. So I really like that we're seeing the good guys take a turn for the good. So that was cool. I think this story is the climax or the peak of, all right, now both of our bad guys and good guys are at the same level, and now we're going to have a huge battle. It's going to be awesome. So I really like that about this book. My only complaint, very minor, is that when they say the God of Light is the opposite of the symbiote race. Now, we know that symbiotes have had hosts and hosts and hosts and hosts. And how many appearances does symbiotes have over the last 10, 15 years? Tons. Like Joe and I, Jeb, Kevin, you all have books with just crazy appearances of symbiotes all over the place. Like I think I could think of at least 25 off the bat. And how many God of Light hosts have you heard of? If this is an actual 100% opposite to symbiotes, like the dark to the light, I gotta disagree. I mean, it's probably like a 10% versus 90%. Like we've seen symbiotes everywhere, whereas God of Light showed up very seldomly. So that was kind of a downside for me. Is like if you're gonna say this is the polar opposite to Null and the symbiotes, the race itself, you got to give a little bit more story to the God of Light over time. But that was it's very minor. But I guess this is the chance for the Enigma Force to actually build out a story and an origin that's constantly been fighting the symbiote race forever. I mean, Jeb was messaging me offline that that back in that Scarlet Spider issue that they were fighting back then. So that's one example. The symbiotes and the Enigma Force that clashed at that point, but that's literally only one example over the hundreds of symbiote appearances that we've all loved and read in the past. So that's my one complaint. I mean, I really, really like the book.
All right. I mean, I think I'm a little more. I'll definitely agree with a lot with Matt said, and based off of everything I like. When it comes to dislikes, I don't really have hardly any, to be honest. I mean, I really thoroughly enjoyed the book as a whole. I mean, like I said in the beginning of the show, what I really liked about this one the most out of the others, I mean, not that I liked them better than the others, but this is the win. This was a win for the good guys this time. You know what I mean? Ever since Null came down to Earth, he has just been messing stuff up. And like I've been saying in previous reviews, why I liked those other issues is because you really feel the anxiety and stress of the heroes and like what they're going to do and how they're going to face Null. But again, this is a win for the good guys. And like Matt said, like you see Null, like he looks like fearful that he could potentially lose. And that's what I really liked about it. There were at least 3 good surprises for me about when, Null just comes out to Dylan saying like, hey, like you're my son, whatever. Jean Grey coming in and Jean Grey almost being a huge MVP player in this whole issue, like going right into the Null's mind here. And, the Enigma Force coming in. So I really enjoyed this issue, and I have no complaints about it as either. So I just think this storyline is continuing to go strong. Again, we still have worries about this series going flat on its face, but could it happen? Yes, but I certainly hope not. So, gentlemen, let's go. Matt, you got something to say?
One super small thing. I want to see if everyone else agrees with me. The biggest part of issue 4 was Thor getting stabbed through the heart with the Necro Sword, and he just pops up live and well. There's no explanation of him dying in this issue, so I kind of wanted to add that to my review. Like, where did Thor get his beating heart back? Like, with no explanation. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Actually, yeah, you know what? I did forget about that for a second. You brought it up. Maybe that's my little tiny complaint, because like he did wake up like as if he's fine. Like what? Yeah, right.
Let's
so
go,
yeah. True. You are right about that.
About the rush thing.
Say again, Jeb.
That's where the rush thing comes in. It's like too much at once in this issue. Sometimes, like a bit.
I kind of took it as he's got the freaking cosmic powers in him, so I just kind of took it as even when he got stabbed and he was down on the ground, like I knew he wasn't dead. He wasn't potentially about to die. I knew he was going to get back up simply just because of the freaking power he wields now. Like the cosmic powers, he's a little bit on a bigger level. But not only that, if you want to compare it to the damn movies, like how many times have we seen Thor get stabbed and like hit? Like you would die from that hit. Like the Hulk ground and pounded him. So I kind of just took it as, he's got this crazy cosmic thing going on, and yes, the Necro Sword was specifically created to kill gods.
Kill gods.
But whatever cosmic crap he's got going on in him, he's like super freaking powerful right now. I knew he wasn't dead. I knew he wasn't going to die.
I knew he wasn't dead either, based off of what Joe said. Like when he did get stabbed, like he wasn't showing that he was just gonna go out. You know what I mean? He was still kind of like rolling around. He was in pain. You know what I mean? He definitely saw better days, but no, I didn't think he was gonna die either. But he did, like Matt said, like he just like got up like nonchalantly, like okay, like I'm good now. But here's a comment. Let's see if this makes sense. He's a god, no, and half his face blown off and was good in a sec. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. So with everything that you guys have said tonight, we'll start with Jeb. We'll work our way in the opposite direction here. With everything that's been said, with your likes and dislikes, it's tradition here on Superpower Review to give a review based off of the CGC grades. Jeb, what would you give this issue for a CGC grade and why?
So I'm going to give it a 9.4, and this is the reasons why. We were promised that Null was going to, level up and have new forms and stuff, and we haven't seen any of that yet. So that's something that, I have a bit of a gripe about. I wanted, changes or maybe, evolution throughout this series. If he gets, knocked down, he gets back up, grows bigger spikes or something,
Okay. I mean, I'm surprised with your 9.4 grade, actually, with everything that you said. I thought you were maybe going to go with a 9.2, but 9.4, okay, I'll dig it. Matt, what do you think, buddy?
I'm thinking back to my last review of issue 3. I gave that a 9.6, and I kind of graded that one harshly. But this I honestly enjoyed more. I can't say I had something big enough to say I want to drop a grade from that. But I'm going to go ahead and go with a 9.8 blue label this time.
Ooh, we're doing colors. Ooh, blue label.
Yeah,
all right.
You know me. I got to really give the gold the top of the top. And this wasn't at the top, so it gets the blue label from me.
All right. Joe, what are you giving it?
I mean, I'm a freaking whore when it comes to this shit, so I'm just going to give it a 9.8. I mean, there wasn't really nothing. There wasn't nothing really I could complain about. I mean, it kind of expanded on so much more, like we talked about. And real quick before we get done with this, I want to shout out the Venom site because they pointed out in the micro universe there's this whole battle that's been going on between the symbiotes and the Enigma Force already. So, like, there's really nothing I can complain about. It's not like it was a book I read and I was just kind of at the end like, okay, like by the end of it, it's like, all right, now I want to look into this Enigma Force shit. And then we already got everything that's going on with Dylan and Noel. So I'm like kind of into that. Like, there was really nothing that I could complain about. It was solid all the way around for me. As far as the tie-ins that came out at the same time, nothing really stood out. The tie-ins, most of them I feel like can be left out of it. The only thing that was kind of importance was Black Cat. Mm-hmm. And then, Venom, obviously. But at the same time, if we can kind of segue for a minute before we jump and talk about the last issue of Venom, they basically had Agent Venom either turn into a dragon inside of the hive mind, or he just turned into a dragon and came through the real world. I'm not sure, but we got a freaking anti-Venom dragon flying around now, so that was pretty cool. But most of the other tie-ins really haven't really done nothing for me. The whole Namor thing, I've been looking at all of it, and I keep forgetting the other one. The British team.
The Union.
I keep forgetting. The Union. So
that's terrible.
That I haven't really been paying attention to none of that. Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts. I pretty much saw that they found the severed bottom half of Sentry, and they realized they can use it as a freaking atomic bomb. So they're plotting to somehow blow Null up with with half of Sentry's body. So that was kind of interesting. The Black Panther tie-in was pretty cool. Wakanda just was able to withstand Null. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like they had their little, battle, but they basically pushed all the symbiotes away from Wakanda while the whole world was taken over. Wakanda is like by itself straight. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty wild to see. But overall, the general story has been pretty damn good. I have no idea what to expect with the final issue. I'm still banking on Dylan going evil, but I feel like them pushing it back says that they're tweaking some things. So I don't know what to expect, but I just hope that by the end of the series, it's not like a Absolute Carnage. There was a tie-in with Absolute Carnage where Miles Morales was like, I finally mastered this symbiote, and hell yeah, Carnage, you better watch your back because I'm coming for you with my symbiote. And then nothing. The next time you see him, he's just regular Spider-Man, like swinging fists. It was just like, what was that?
See, this is why I don't get too invested. I don't get invested in tie-ins too much.
There hasn't been too much of that with these tie-ins, but like I said, Namor and the other one, like, there's literally, I haven't noticed anything significant with either two of them titles. I feel like King in Black was also Donny Cates' way of helping push other books. You know what I mean? Like, no one reads Namor, slap the King in Black logo on it. All right, sell this bad boy. Like, people want to buy this. Like, what's the other one? The British team?
The Union. Like,
the Union. Like, who the hell knows what the Union is? King in Black, baby. Sell it. Like, I feel like that's kind of what's going on. So,
but again, that's what's making. I mean, that's Marvel's golden boy right now. You know what I mean? He's. It's awful. It's stupid. I'll agree with you 100%. But if he's making a good story and selling other, underranked books, underranked titles, you know what I mean? That's what Marvel's like. They're like, yeah, Donnie, keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Like, look, we got it. We got a book here.
It's kind of Donny Cates like going away present because we all heard the news about him going to Image. So he's already excited to work with Todd, and he's basically giving Marvel like, look, I'm just building this entire foundation for all these storylines with my characters that I've created. Give it to some writers that can do something with it. I'll be back.
And those writers are going to mess it up.
We'll see. I'm still hoping for Jason Aaron. All these Jason Aaron tiebacks. I'm still hoping.
Jason Aaron on Venom so bad.
I'm hoping.
That
all right,
gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Real quick. I said something about how I wanted Al Ewing to be able to take over the writer as Venom. He's doing one of the Carnage. He's the new writer for Carnage, Black, White, and Blood, issue 1.
Oh, nice.
Donny Cates had to drop off of that. And that's the thing. He's spreading himself out so much. And I feel like that's what all Rush stuff is. But, like, with him going to do Spawn, I feel like, I don't know if Donnie's aware of this. He probably is, but he's going to do something with Spawn that's probably going to be long-lasting, and he's probably going to start doing a lot of Spawn things. I have a feeling once he writes for Spawn, it's not just going to be one issue. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
hell
he's going to do something like that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. So we have a 9.4 on the board. We have two 9.8s. And I don't remember what I gave. I think so far I've been a 9.8 across the board so far with this series, I think. I don't think I've given it a 9. Huh?
Be a whore with me.
And I am. I so am. I'm gonna give it a 9.8. I really have nothing to complain about with this issue, other besides Thor maybe just like brushing off his shoulders off of getting stabbed with a necro sword. But no, seriously, I really have no complaints with this issue or with the series so far. I'm really enjoying it, and this is something from the new comic book day that's going to be staying in my collection for a long haul for sure. You know, it's not one of those books that I'm going to read it and be like, all right, I'm going to purge it out of here. Let's get it out of here. I don't have the room for it. It's going to stay in the collection. I think it's that good. And normally for me, and this is why I don't read a vast amount of titles. And so like I usually don't like it when other team members or other characters get in with my main title books, and I'm liking it here. You know what I mean? So I would just want to see Venom. I want to see Venom all day, but seeing this whole level threat happening with other teams and other Marvel characters getting into it, I'm actually enjoying it, and it's actually kind of surprising and shocking me. So 9.8 across the board again. Again, I don't have any complaints with this issue or with this series. I think Null is a really cool character. And again, I've been saying this since day one. He is probably one of the most powerful Marvel villains to date. You know what I mean? This is... I think this is even trumping Thanos in leaps and bounds, in my opinion. So they definitely have it way over their head. He's biased. He's biased.
I'm not too sure about that either.
Not yet.
You're not too sure. I don't know.
Whoever has the gauntlet controls the universe.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Donny Cates already gave us that spoiler back in Thor. What was that? Was it Jeb?
Yeah.
With the Necro Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also dipped,
he's coming back.
We also dipped our toe for a second in the thought that maybe Null could even control the Infinity Gauntlet. So
if he got a hold of it, I don't see why not.
I don't see why not. We talked about that last time, right? Was the last video we talked about that? Yeah. We're like, I think he's powerful enough to do it.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest gripe, though, like honestly, the biggest gripe. I'm just gonna do this. We gotta wait a month, boys. We gotta wait a month.
Hey,
a month. Like,
I'll tell you brutal. What, me, and probably I'd damn near say a million other collectors, our wallets are so fine with that. Like so fine. With
I'm
that.
fine with it. I'm actually fine with it because it gives me a break and I don't have to review anything for a while.
Well, that's the one thing that kind of sucks because these reviews are fun, but I'm sick and tired of buying 18 freaking tie-ins, 20 variants. Like I'm over it.
I got a month to save up for the last 1 in 500, so I'm happy with the month wait.
Yeah, man. They both come out the same day.
200 is gonna be a doozy.
Yeah.
34 and 5 both come out the same day. That's awesome, I think.
Whoa! All right.
Yeah,
that's important to know, actually. Wow.
Yeah, man. Same day. I think April 7th, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're correct.
So Venom 34 and King in Black issue 5 come out the same day.
That's what I read.
God bless COVID, man. God bless. that's ridiculous. So we're gonna have to pretty much read Venom before we read King in Black. Like,
yeah.
You think? I think it's the other way around. I think we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what this Enigma Force does with Eddie before we read the Venom book.
Yeah,
exactly. Like that's, man. I think we'll survive it. You know, we'll be able to look into it. But
Steve, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I just feel like anybody that's watching this video definitely read Venom first. Just right. Bypass the temptation and read Venom first because that's. God, that's dumb. I didn't know they came out at the same time.
But what if you open up that Venom book and there's a brand new Captain Universe costume and you should have read King in Black?
Man, I have a feeling, though, you know what? Like, Null has Eddie in the back of the neck there from last issue. I feel like that's when it's like, ooh, all of a sudden, like, he goes Uber just at that point, somewhere along that point. All hell breaks loose for Null.
All right, gentlemen, we are over the hour mark here. We're 9 minutes into the hour. We're going to wrap it up here. But, hey, gentlemen, thank you so much, for taking time out of your day and being on the live stream. It's always fun hanging out with you guys and talking about these issues. So thank you yet again.
Yeah, man.
Not a problem. Always a pleasure.
Not a problem.
I just want to point out this whole time Jeb's screen has been upside down, and I've really been enjoying that.
It's upside down for
It's
you,
kinda-
man.
kinda interesting.
You gotta get a new setup there.
Hold on.
There we go. There you go. Now
This is
you
what
get
you
it.
look like, Jeb.
Well, welcome to the party, Joe. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. To the people who took time out of their day to watch this live stream, don't forget to like this video on your way out. Comment some feedback in the comment section if you're watching this on the rewind. Let us know what you thought about King in Black issue number 4, and also go in this video's description and check out the 2,000 subscriber giveaway I have going on right now. I'm giving us away a Spawn number 1 CGC graded at a 9.4 with some other really cool books, and I'll be announcing the winner this upcoming week. So make sure you join in that, and I want to wish everybody luck who entered. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Say bye, boys.
He's out.